This is Dr. Carroll, and this is another video in the Python list series. And this video is about list slicing. Now let's first remember what slicing looks like with strings, and then let's apply that to list. And so remember, slicing strings is just it's going to be just like that with lists, and it includes forgiving about indexing out of bounds. So let's look at strings. And so first, let's just start with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and we'll assign that string literal to alpha string. And let's put some indices here that will help us as we're looking at this. So if we display it, it's going to display A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. But now if we slice out from index 7 to 8, so 7 to 9, but not including 9, so 7 is H and 8 is I. Okay, so that's going to display hi. And so we've sliced that out. It's pulled out those characters. And now we can do things like start at the first one, A, go up to the sixth one, but not including the sixth one, but by every 2. So A, C, E, and that one's going to display ace. And we can leave off the 0 to say, hey, I'm not going to specify the first one, just start from the beginning. That'll display the same thing. And we can even leave off the end one, and it knows to go to the end. And we can use negative indices as well. So -1 is J, -2 is I, -3 is H. So that's going to go from H, I, J to the end. H, I, J, there it is. And notice it's even flexible and forgiving if we specify something that's well beyond. So with slicing, it is forgiving. And so this says start at 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3, that's D here. And then it says go up to 1,000 or the end, whichever comes first. And so that's going to display from D on. Now we cannot directly index alpha string index 1000. That will create a runtime error. That would be bad. Okay, so now let's apply this to lists. So slicing lists returns a new list with copies of each of the references that were in the list that we're slicing out of, but only in the highest level. It's going to return references to there. So if you have an embedded list, it does things a little differently. And so let's see this again. So let's build up a list. Let's use each letter in the alpha string and add it as a new element into an alpha list. So we need an alpha list, and we need to create an empty list so that it knows it's a list. So going through each character in alpha string there and assign that to ch or char. So we have our alpha list, and we're going to concatenate it in with ch. Now we can't do it this way because this would only work for strings. We have to concatenate in a list, and so we just need to make it a 1-element list, and then there we go. Okay, and so now if we print this, it'll print a list with A as the first element, B as the second element, and so on. And so alpha list is just going to return a list. Okay, so now if we slice out the 7 through 9, just as before, it's going to take the element at index 7 and 8 and return those, and it's going to return a list. And so it's returning a list, passing it to print, and so it's going to display a list which has H and I. Notice just the same as before with the strings, except that it is the elements H and I instead of a string. Same thing with 0, 6, 2. Slicing has all the same rules. It's ace again, and if we can leave it off and it's ace, well, it's an A, a C, and an E again. And we can use negative indices, and we can leave off the last one. And it's forgiving on way overstepping the index with slicing. Now, and so notice it's flexible with slicing, but remember, it's not forgiving with direct indexing. So that's list slicing. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my other videos in the list series.